Here. Get this fixed. And I never do. Make sure we heard. Remember me? Like the biscuit. No phone, no Bluetooth. Okay. Wow. All right, cut that. Cut. I'm going incognito if you didn't notice today.
Yeah, I noticed.
I'm going incognito.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I need because I want to conceal my identity today.
It'd be a good idea for the topic that we have.
Oh, okay. I want to conceal my identity. I just don't want to, I don't want anything because people hate you. Let's just get it. People don't like you. And I don't want to be a person that people don't like. I was gonna blur it out, but I figured that this would just be better, because people don't like you, and I don't want that. I don't want the barrage to come over
to get on you,
to get on this way. So I want to keep it over there.
Should I use your real name? Use a fake name? What am I doing?
Just for this sake, just call me Jay.
Jay, okay,
just call me Jay. Just call me Jay. That's fine. Yeah,
Jay is cool.
Right, yeah, that's cool. Like on the other name, don't mention it.
Yeah, no.
So, anyway, okay, let's get into it. We the most important thing is that we're here to educate.
Yes.
We're here to educate, and the next two podcasts are going to be very, very, very educational.
Yes.
I mean, this is we're taking education to the next level. I appreciate that. Thank you for that little, education. Let's give a round of applause for education. So today, let's just put everything into perspective. About 5-6 years ago,
yes,
I wrote an outline to a book.
Mm-hmm.
I felt very moved because, as you know, I listen to a lot of books. Yes. I'm probably upwards to, I don't know, maybe 150 books.
I would say 150. Yeah.
150 books. It's a habit or a pastime or whatever you want to call it. I like information. I like to gain information. I like to get smarter. I like to have more understanding. That's if to me, if I'm not learning, then I'm losing. You're going up or down. You're not staying the same. So I want to learn as much as possible. Whenever I can. So about 6 years ago, I attempted to write an outline of a book because I have read probably over 30 books about communication. And communication is big because we communicate with everything and everybody. I got to communicate with this guy. You communicate with your boss. You communicate with your girl. You communicate with your mom, with your children. So you do it every day. And that's probably why so many books upon it.
Yep.
So I wanted to tackle a topic that was close to me as far as communication is concerned. Don't smile, and there's no joke. You smiling. So what I did is I wrote a nice outline, and the name of my book was How to Win an Argument with a Woman. Okay, first of all, I'll give it up for me. Because it takes a strong, it takes some strength. It takes a lot of strength.
Courage.
Now, what I would say is that as I let this outline get out there, I wanted opinions on what I was saying, which I could say I lost a lot of I lost a lot of people.
I blocked a few times.
I lost a lot of people in trying to get an opinion, which is fine, but I understand it as people don't like to be figured out, or people don't like to know that you know. Mm-hmm. Nobody likes that.
No, that's not fun.
So if they know that then is kind of like, well, I gotta get mad or say you don't know. But anyway, that's we'll get into that later. We'll get into that later. So, how to win an argument with a woman. So let me set some ground rules for this book that I wrote, this outline that I wrote. Ground rules. And I want you to stay with me because I'm going to need your help because you're a very smart guy. He's smart as far as like computers and math and stuff. And I like to think I'm a master communicator. I like to think that only because they say if you got 10,000 hours in something, you're a professional. I got 10,000 hours in this. Plus, I don't like that.
10,000 hours of talking shit.
Yeah, I got 10,000 hours in that. So the ground rules about this outline to the book that I wrote, How to Win an Argument with a Woman. First thing is the word win. Okay. I titled it this because I knew that it'd catch some eyes. You always want to eye catching, like the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, which is a really good book. The book is called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. But if you read the book, it talks about that you only have so many fucks to give.
Right.
So anyway, that's just another thing. So when we're talking about win in this context, what I'm saying is getting somewhere. Now, I don't try to win anything as far as a conversation or a debate or argument is being had. I just try to get somewhere, meaning that I want to be somewhere further than I was when I started the conversation. I don't want to end up in the same place after having a 30-minute conversation, an hour conversation. Mm-hmm. And that's a victory to a man, and let me just say me. That's a victory to me. So it's not about getting your way when the word win is used, because I don't want the word win to be misinterpreted in this. Win is getting somewhere. You care to elaborate?
Well, I'll just do this. That was lovely what you said. They're not gonna listen to that part.
Oh, okay. Well, I just had to. That's the first. That's the
win. Win.
Stop talking. So the second thing that I will say is that this. So when I pitched this book to a woman editor, the first thing when I said how to win an argument with a woman, the first thing she said is, well, that doesn't make any sense because I could win an argument even when I'm wrong. Wait. No. I'm sorry. We back?
We back.
No. Okay, we back. We back. Yeah, we back. Okay, so she said, that's stupid because I could win an argument even when I'm wrong. So, go ahead, put that on there, see if that works. Yeah, thank you. So, I'm not talking about this type of argument or this type of conversation. I'm not. If a woman is saying she could win an argument even when she's wrong, this is the wrong person to have a debate with.
Or a relationship with.
Yeah. So if somebody is saying that they could win even when they're wrong,
run.
Let's just be clear. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, as Michael uses a lot, and I'm going to let him elaborate and explain what he means. I'm talking about a good faith conversation. I'm talking about two people that are going to be adults in the situation and that are really trying to get somewhere in the conversation. At least for the most part. I'm not talking about somebody that's going in and saying, oh, I'm going to win even though I'm wrong.
In with the good faith thing, what I mean by that is you're trying to do right. You're not trying to be right. I get charged with a lot of times, oh, you just want to be right. And that's just like, if that's what you think, you're missing the point. It's about doing right, not being right. And generally speaking, it's about being honest, good faith, intentions, things of that nature.
Wow. So along with that, so I'm saying you're not. This doesn't apply to someone who's just trying to be right, because it just doesn't. And another thing, like you just said about the honesty, this doesn't apply to a liar, because you're not playing on the same field. If you have good faith and somebody is, let's just use basketball for example. Well, if I'm following the rules in basketball, which means that I'm not fouling, I'm not double dribbling, I'm not traveling, and I'm playing up against somebody that is going to do all that and not and it's just one-on-one. So they're going to say, I could do this, and it's going to be one-on-one. Well, I can't win if they could just run to the basket. I can't win if they can foul and I can't foul. So when you're dealing with somebody that's just going to lie,
Run.
We got to get out of there. This is not the conversation that I'm talking about. I want to be clear that I'm talking about an adult, mature debate / argument. Discussion, whatever you want to call it. Like I said, the title is the title because I just want you to listen. So the last thing I'm going to say is that, of course, I have how to win an argument with a woman, but it's some of these characteristics guys do also. Some of these characteristics guys do, and we call those guys
bitch ass niggas.
I like to say BANs. We call them BANs, but to say that is to say this applies to a guy that's being a what is it?
Bitch ass nigga.
A BAN, it applies to him too. Because some ladies want to get somewhere also. It happens. They want to get somewhere and they dealing with a BAN and they can't get anywhere because, he wants to do the thing that I'm going to discuss in the book that I wrote. Right?
Yes.
So that is my precursor to the things that I'm about to say. Anything you want to add?
So how to, again, directions. Win is relative to getting somewhere. Argument is discussion, conversation, debate, or anything. And with the woman, you
can finish it with the woman, but that's what we're talking about right now.
Talking about
but
with the woman.
It can be switched.
It can be switched. And
if you're dealing with a BAN.
And look, this is also too when the idea of getting somewhere is there are certain comments that make circular arguments. One of those things is men do it too.
Okay.
Men do it too is a circular argument.
Okay.
And like things like that, like what about the other? What about them? That's one of those things that make it a circular argument where you can kind of just keep saying, well, what about this? Or what about that? Or what about that? And keep the argument going.
Mm-hmm.
So for the woman part, like, just let us have it up until we actually say a man did something.
Okay.
All right.
So here we go. Right. I am going to step into the deep end right now.
All right, let's do it.
I'm going to step into the deep end. So like I said, this is kind of an outline of the book. I won't give you all of the book because I'm still, I still might drop this coming to a Barnes and Noble near
Amazon
near you, or Audible near you. If it's Audible, I'm reading them. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read my own audio book. Even though it might come off kind of Detroitish. I'm gonna read my own audio book.
You mean offbeat?
That was that.
I love all Detroit rappers.
No, you
man.
don't. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
That's not a thing. Everybody don't know that.
It's pretty ridiculous.
I was the first person to say that.
That's pretty ridiculous. So,
Jesus Christ, man, that was good.
Wow. So, here we go. We're just gonna go. So, the first chapter is about setting ground rules for the conversation. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let me explain what I'm saying. I'm going to read a little bit of it. And Michael, if you have something, just let me know. All right. Now, I wrote this 6 years ago. So just everybody relax. This is 6 years ago that I wrote this. So everybody relax. Okay. Relax. All right. All right. So while setting the ground rules for a conversation was one of the most important things for winning an argument, it's also one of the most difficult things. Most women do not like being told what to do or how to do it. I'm just saying, like, don't listen. Oh, I'm wrong. I didn't say the word in front of. I said most women. I didn't say all.
You didn't.
I said most women.
You didn't say nothing wrong to me.
Most women do not like to be told what to do or how to do it. So this must be done strategically. Okay. In setting the ground rules for a conversation, you want to discuss things such as no yelling, no interrupting each other, no veering off topic, and a way to let each other know when one of these infractions are happening. You could say something like, when you veer off topic, I'm going to hold up one finger. Just to let them know. So, and that's going to remind you that you're off topic. It is important to say things like we are off topic, or it is important to say things like we're off topic and not you are off topic. One statement puts the blame on the woman, and the other statement includes you, which women are more likely to accept. Also, what you have done here is gave yourself a license to interrupt, even though you said no interruptions. You know, you can, but both people have this license. Both people has this license. But I'm just, if I go over your head, just relook at it. Okay.
Man, no, they don't have it. Like they don't. Go ahead. You keep going.
Okay. Let's see.
The level of emotional intelligence it takes to like hear that part is like it's damn near like it's Harvard level.
Okay. Relax.
Go ahead.
But I would caution you as the man to stay on topic also, because the woman has the same license to interrupt you if you veer off topic. After setting ground rules, it's very important that you get acknowledgement from the woman. This is extremely important. The last thing you want to do is get deep into an argument and she says, I never agreed to that. So get confirmation. Is that okay? Does that work for you? Are you okay with these ground rules? These types of statements will do for getting confirmation. Lastly, ask if she would like to add any ground rules. This will let her know that it's not all about you, but you're interested in what she has to say also.
Go ahead.
After the ground rules are set, there's no going back. Make sure she understands that the rules you both set are in place and will be followed. There's no changing the rules, adding rules in the middle of the conversation, because this will create complete chaos. You can be very creative with the rules that you set. Have fun. Code words, faces, colors, complete sentences, a little experimenting. Do what you want to do. This will keep the argument light and make it feel more like a debate. So set the ground rules. Now you're a step closer and being victorious in this argument.
Oh, when you said chaos, I was thinking like a woman would be like, "Oh, you think chaos is your friend?" You merely.
I was born in chaos. You're very rude. You're very rude.
I can't have no fun.
Okay, that was chapter 1. Yeah. Setting ground rules, which means it's like setting the ground rules for the conversation. You want to add structure to your argument or debate or conversation, because without structure, it's just chaos. It's just chaos. And as I said, I want to get somewhere. I can't get anywhere with chaos. Right. And sometimes the person you're dealing with, they don't want to get anywhere. They actually want chaos.
Yeah, and this is another thing too. In the setting of the ground rules, typically there is a right and a wrong, right?
Correct.
It's rare that you have like a situation where it's just like it's a matter of like opinion or whatever. Mm-hmm. Generally speaking, nobody gets upset at a matter of opinion. They generally think, since somebody did somebody wrong. typically with the person who's wrong they're not gonna enjoy this part. They're not gonna enjoy this part. So that's male or female, but like,
whatever. Okay, so now we just go, that's we just doing the outline. So we're gonna move on to the next chapter. You're ridiculous. So ask direct questions. So let's get on to what I mean by that. And don't laugh when I'm reading, my man, because
this is good stuff.
Okay.
I'm smiling, really. I'm proud of you.
Okay, shut up. Direct questions are a great way to get right to the problem without beating around the bush. What do I mean by ask direct questions? Direct questions have direct answers, either yes, no, or the choices you give inside of the questions. For example, did you know how to get to the mall? Or would you rather take the street or the freeway? These questions are direct. This is where it gets tricky. Even though you ask a direct question, women will try to give essay answers. This essay answer is meant to leave you confused and in the same mindset you were when you asked the unknown question. For example, question from man. Did you know how to get to the mall? Woman from answer from woman. Yes, I did. But which mall are we going to? So this is classic deflection. This is classic. Mm-hmm. So on one hand, she answers yes, because most women never want to seem like they don't know the answer to something. I'm sorry about that. So, but she also admitted in the same sentence that she had no clue where she was going.
Right.
This leaves you as the man with nothing. She has completely sidestepped the question. If you ask the question again, you will come off as rude or forceful, and you will probably get the same answer. Here's how you fix it by making it a direct question even more direct. Preface the question with, if you could, I would only like a yes or no answer to this next question. Now that's difficult, but just try to follow me. Be deliberate in your communication. Do not be rude or condescending when you make this request, or it'll blow up in your face. By getting her to answer the question direct with a yes or no, it gives you the information you need to move on in the conversation. She is going to be dying to explain her answer in some way to get her out of not knowing. But be sure to confirm your request and just getting a yes or no before moving on with the question. This will eliminate lots of unnecessary talking, which works to women's advantage in arguments. By doing a bunch of unnecessary talking, what women are hoping is that men will just say, forget it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
That gives her a victory in the argument, even though she's not right. Answering directly also holds her accountable for the answers. Accountability is huge when arguing with a woman. The goal is giving essay answers to your direct question is not to outlast you in an argument. It's to outlast you in an argument. If you allow this, you will definitely lose the argument.
Yeah, I remember all this stuff because I read it when you did it. I didn't just read it, but all that stuff is just like coming back to me, and it's like when you wrote it, I remember the stuff that you were like telling me while you were writing it. You know what I'm saying? But like that's the crazy part. It's the it depends stuff.
Yeah, it's just like, well, the question is just like, do you know how to get to the mall?
It depends. What mall are you talking about?
And then it's like, yes. It's like, yes, I did. But what mall are we going to? That's tough. That's tough. This is just an example, but it's tough because it's just like, well, then if you don't know which mall we're going to,
you don't know.
Then you don't know where you're going.
But not even that, like,
break it down to me.
But more so like, you came in the house late. Where were you? Like, you came home a little late. You said you was gonna be here at this time. You did come home late. You didn't call. Where were you?
That's different. I don't want to.
But that's a direct question.
Yeah, it is a direct question.
Where were you?
It is a direct question, but you didn't set any ground rules, and you didn't, tell her that you were going to ask this direct question. So where were you turns into what's the problem? It's not that late. You always checking up on me. Like what? Like I've been finished. I was just riding around. I just wanted to ride around. And it's just like you're not anywhere, so you probably need to get off the gas, not hit the brakes, but just get off the gas so it can slow down.
Right, but then for me, like, and I'm an advocate of I don't have to kill you, I don't have to save you, and you're right, I'm wrong, and you can be single.
Run.
You're out of there.
That kind of behavior is just unacceptable for an adult.
Okay. Hey man, you get to slow down, baby.
Yeah, that kind of behavior is just unacceptable for an adult. If I ask you a direct question, please answer it with give me a direct answer. And if you don't, again, you're right, I'm wrong. I don't have to explain, you know what I'm saying, anything. I don't have to yell at you or anything like that. I don't want to do anything that's going to harm you in any way emotionally, and certainly not physically. But I don't have to save you. I don't have to deal with that behavior. And look, and this is another thing. This is something that doesn't say. You have to be willing to walk away. All of this, granted.
Yeah, I got that. I got a chapter. I got a walk away chapter. I got a concede chapter.
No, I'm talking about.
Okay. I know you're talking about just period. Yeah. Okay.
Take the key back.
Okay. All right. I get it. So, Michael, this shit gets deeper. All right. So we're gonna go to the next. We're gonna go to the next bullet point that I have, and that is, tell her she's right. Now, I see you looking confused, man, but I'm gonna bring you there. I'm gonna put you in the car. I'm gonna put you in. You gotta sit in the back though. You gotta sit in the back because you're a little bit too green for me. Sit in the back, and you don't touch the radio, don't touch the heat. But I'm gonna bring you there. So here we go. I know what you think. If I tell her she's right, how am I winning the argument? Just stick with me on this one. By no means am I telling you to use trickery or tell her she is right when she's absolutely wrong. What I'm saying is sometimes you have to lose the battle to win the war. During this argument you are having with a woman, she will make good points and correct statements. You must give her these correct statements. You must give these correct statements their proper due. Their honest proper due. This is not time for sarcasm or a condescending tone. This is all about building credibility inside of the argument. This is very hard for women to recognize it as an argument when you are genuinely agreeing with her. Great terms to use are, that's a great point. You're very correct. I never looked at it that way. And also, I absolutely have no rebuttal for that. I'm just giving my people what? I'm giving my people this today. I'm giving my people something here. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Fucking kids, man.
What, man? This is giving you the leverage that is needed for you to finish the argument strong. It is in everyone's nature to treat people the way they want to be treated. What you have done by agreeing without saying it is when you have a good idea or make a correct statement, I would like the same confirmations from you. Unless you're dealing with a complete psychopath, and I understand most of you are, this message cannot go without being received. It is important that you are first with these confirmations because you want to be the last one to receive them. As Jim George said, it's not how you start that's important, it's how you finish. These early confirmations allow you to finish the argument very strong with lots of agreement from the woman. This in turn gives you the opportunity to really articulate your point and get tons of agreement at the end of the argument. Also, what this does is allow you to move on in the argument. If a woman says something right inside the argument and it does not get any acknowledgement, she is surely to keep repeating that statement until she gets that acknowledgement. So please give her what she needs so the conversation can move on.
But it was raining though.
Okay.
It was raining though.
You as the man never want to be stuck in a conversation. You just became a little bit closer to victory, baby. What's up?
It was raining though. It was raining though.
All right. I'm not. You're right. It was raining. I can't.
I'm saying that you gotta.
It was raining.
That's why
we're not going. There's no reason to keep
it was
arguing.
Raining.
No, I agree.
That's why I was 3 hours late. I was 3 hours late.
But I'm not debating you about the rain. It was raining.
It was raining.
Okay, I'm not debating you about that.
I'm just saying.
I agree.
And remember traffic?
Oh, but it was rush hour too. Can we move on?
It was traffic.
Okay, it was. I'm not saying it wasn't traffic. Can we move on?
And there was it was an accident.
Okay. Well.
Run.
Get on out of there. That's too much. So what I'm saying is that, and to tell her she's right, like I said at the beginning, I'm not talking about trickery. I'm not talking about anything that is deceiving. I'm just saying that when she is right, acknowledge it, period. Because you want the same type of treatment. You're not, this is not trickery. Okay, I just say that again.
It's fair. It's fair to do that because it also allows for you to move on from small arguments within an argument, like that like the raising your voice thing. Like again, I just think that's she can't wait to say, like they can't wait.
We getting there. We chipping at it. We getting there. Okay.
Yeah.
The next bullet point: mirror her in the conversation.
That's what you're saying.
Let's go. Mirroring is a behavior which one person subconsciously. Wait a minute. Okay, mirroring is a behavior in which one person subconsciously imitates the gestures, speech pattern, and attitude of another. You are not doing this exactly, but you are doing some form of mirroring. So what am I referring to by saying mirroring? Repeating statements made by her and getting confirmation from these statements. This is a huge way to make her accountable for the statements made. In an argument, most women want to have multiple ways out. What this means is a woman does not want to be tied down to one statement. The way women do this is to make vague statements or have selective amnesia when these statements are brought up later in the argument. Women want to say multiple things about the same subject inside of an argument. So if you bring up one thing, she can jump to another. Immediately repeating the statement and getting her to confirm the statement ties her to the statement, which ties her to the statement without much wiggle room to get out of the statement. The phrases you can use leading up to repeating the statement and getting confirmation is, so you're saying, let me understand. If I understand you correctly, you're saying, after repeating her exact statement to her, more than likely she's not going to agree that that's the statement that she made. The reason for this, first, she's not going to like the way that her statement sounds coming out of your mouth. Secondly, she does not want to be trapped or stuck with that statement. So be prepared for her to emphatically state, that's not what I said. Even though you repeat exactly what she said, stay strong. Let her change the statement, say something different. You just continue to repeat her statements back to her until both of you guys agree on the statement made. This process becomes a little tedious, but it's very needed.
Be petty too.
Be sure when you are repeating the statements made by her, you are saying exactly what she said. Do not shorten words, substitute, slang, add, or twist, or put your own twist on the statement. Also, I have said in the previous chapters, this is not time to be sarcastic or condescending. Be cautious, because every time you repeat exactly what she says, she has to change the statement. Her frustration is going to be growing. You run the risk of her saying, just forget it, but hang in there. Stay calm to ensure her that you are in control of your emotions in the argument for the long haul. In practice, I would say after repeating her statement 3 times, move on. She's not going to commit to the statement, and you'll run the risk of falling into the trap. This tactic is all about accountability. To be exact, accountability for her words. Accountability is tough for some women, but you are able to hold them accountable. You are much closer to victory. Now, what is the trap? I'm glad you asked.
What is the trap?
Okay. I'm glad you asked. We're going to get into the trap next. So, what I mean mirroring in this sense is I just mean that before I move on, I want to understand what's being said.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to ever move on and I don't understand what was being said, or we both think something is different. So I want to get confirmation of what's being said. And if I misunderstood it, then I want you to make me understand it, because it works for the both of us that I understand what you said.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't just work for me, it works for the both of us. But if you on BS, then it doesn't work for you, because you just said something just to say it. And then when I repeated it, you said, well, that's not what I said.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be tied down to it. And then you realize what you're dealing with, and that's a whole
Run.
It's different. It's different.
Also, too, like I every time I'm listening to every one of these things, they're just saying they only, for a man, it only really works if, again, and I said, and hopefully you're getting to that point. It only works if at the end of the day you're willing to walk away. Like, I'm talking about for real.
From the whole relationship.
From the whole relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way that any of this stuff works. Because the leverage is always, and you don't, like, leverage is something that's just going to exist in one way, shape, or form in somebody's favor. It just does. It's not one of those things where it's like, as a man, you should have the leverage or she should have the leverage. It's just like, it's going to exist in some way, shape, or form. Especially when you're trying to get to a solution for something, it has to exist on your side in order for you to get to that point. Because then if she has the leverage of you're not going to leave anyway, and you're just going to take this, this circular argument, whereas I say anything and I live in one division, then you just have to actually deal with it. And she never has to, acquiesce to any of these things. You know what I mean? Because
one of my gunshots, but I got it. WandaVision. WandaVision. We got to give an applause for WandaVision. That's a great analogy. Keep it going.
Right. But the thing is that like we, and I don't want to switch the subject, but when I was talking about the 80% thing, be 80% of whatever you got done, be done with it. You know what I'm saying? And then bring a woman in. That speaks to you having leverage. Now, again, you got to be a good dude. This doesn't say treat a woman poorly. This doesn't say curse her out. This doesn't say do anything to her. You know what I'm saying? Really, be a good dude. Do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Be a man of your word. You say you're going to do something, do it early. You know what I'm saying? You say you're going to be there at 6 o'clock, be there at 5:45. Yeah, 5:30.
Be there. You're a real good guy.
I'm saying, like, but do what you say you're going to do.
Be a man of your word.
Be a man of your word. Be consistent. Be respectful.
Man of your word. I like that.
Yeah, but it only.
Let's try to be that.
Yep, you only get the leverage if you're that. Then you get to this, and then a lot of this stuff kind of takes care of itself.
You're right. So the trap. What are we talking about?
Let's get to the trap.
When we say trap, when we say do not fall for the trap, what are we talking about? Now, again, I want to reiterate. Let me reiterate something. I wrote this 6 years ago. I'm saying, like, you can't see it. It's very small. No, you can't see that. That's why I'm trying to. That's why I'm having trouble kind of reading. It's very small. It's very hard to follow. So just bear with me.
He's not illiterate. He just needs glasses.
I got my glasses in the car right now, but I just want you to know this is 6 years ago. So, so the trap. Now, when Biggie say, number 9 should have been number 1 to me. If you ain't getting bags, stay the police. So I would say chapter 5 should have been number 1 to me. That's why I started this off by saying that. So, but do your research. So I'm telling you right now, this is what kills a man in every argument. Once you fall into the trap, you're dead. There's no coming back from it. This will be the most difficult thing to overcome while in an argument with a woman. If you take nothing else from this book, please take heed to this chapter. This chapter alone will keep you ahead of every argument you will have with a woman. What is ironic is as I'm writing this chapter, I myself have fell for the trap about a month ago. I fell for this trap a month ago. Obviously, this was 6 years ago, but a month ago, 6 years and a month ago, I fell for the trap. Okay. I fell for the trap. Where am I at? For myself about a month ago. I'm not proud of it, but I am only human. There are many different forms of the trap, but we will start with women's raw emotions. It's no secret that most women run on emotion and most men use logic. All right, that's not a shot. That's not a shot.
But some men use emotions too.
I understand that. I said, but they are called
bitch ass niggas.
So, so when a woman is in fear of losing an argument, she will yell, scream, cry, stomp, pout, or do whatever other emotion outbursts to throw you off of your game. Do not, I repeat, do not engage with her behavior. This is exactly what women want and exactly what most women love. Also, this is a great way for a woman to deflect from the actual argument. Before you know it, the argument will be about your yelling, not the subject at hand. When involved in a shouting match, no one wins. Women would rather no one win than to lose.
It's a winner take all kind of thought process. But yeah, keep going.
No one winning equals a win for women. Most men go into an argument by trying to get something accomplished. If you fall for this version of the trap, consider yourself nowhere man. like a superhero. You're nowhere man. Yeah, you're nowhere man.
NWM.
Yeah. Another version of the trap is women will make small derogatory statements towards you to knock you off your game.
Your penis is little.
These derogatory statements are what are called taking shots. This is meant to bring you down and make you unsure about yourself.
Your penis is
That's
little.
Crazy. Taking shots is a dirty game, and I'm sorry to say, women are the best at taking shots.
You probably get it from your daddy.
Be prepared to hear small statements about your mother, women you've dated before, your job, your children, and even your sexual performance.
Penis is little.
I told you this is a dirty game.
It's dirty. It's filthy.
You must keep your composure. If you fall into the trap, not only will you lose the argument, you will lose the battle of taking shots.
It was cold.
The only advice I have for you when a woman starts taking shots comes from the best first lady in the history of the United States.
When they go low,
we go high.
Yes.
Do not respond with also taking shots at her family in a derogatory way. You will regret this at Thanksgiving dinner when you're with her family. Are you going to tell my mom what you said about her cooking? So
you call my thing.
The proper response to these derogatory statements is, I'm sorry you feel that way. I'll try to do better in the future. It really hurts me when you say that. Do not be afraid to be vulnerable when she's taking shots. This will usually bring the derogatory statements to a complete halt. There are many other ways the trap can be set, But these are the main ways. Remember, the quicker you diffuse the trap, the quicker you will be able to move on in the conversation. Any engagement will definitely derail you from your goal of getting to the end of this argument.
Man, so like the whole time I was listening to you saying, and I was kind of like, again, I remember reading it beforehand, so I'm like, those it's a dirt, and they may not even, those shots may not even be that direct.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's like a little jab.
It's a little jab, and some of them little jabs,
them little cuts, the death of 1,000 cuts.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
And you have to be, but then it always goes back to, again, leverage in relationship equals these things kind of work a lot better. Because again, if she called it, if she say, I joke and say, she called your penis little, but if she's able to do that and you're not able to bounce and have other vagina, well then you're really in a lose anyway. Because she could just call your penis little and then you just there. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to stay there and be little penis man. You know what I'm saying? That's a superhero.
Nowhere, man. Hey, man. Hey,
LBM.
God. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
I'm trying to get through this, and you're joking.
No. This is good stuff. This is good stuff.
Okay.
Very,
all right.
proud. Michelle Obama ain't calling it nothing.
Okay. All right. Don't fall for the trap.
Don't fall
for the trap. Let's go with the next bullet point here. Listen to her very carefully.
They gonna say that should have been number one because y'all don't be going ahead though.
Well, who was you just mocking? Right?
Who do you think I was mocking?
Oh, okay. I don't know. I thought you were specifically mocking
one.
And number 6 should have been number 1 to me. Okay. Listen to the woman very carefully. 6 years ago. Bear with me. 6 years ago.
Right.
Okay. We have discussed many things to do and not to do in this book. But one of those things can 100% work if you are okay. We have discussed many things to do and to say in this book, but none of those things can 100% work if you're not listening to what the woman is saying. In this argument, you as the man have to be a gatherer of information. As long as she's on the topic, let her continue to speak. One of the reasons you are repeating the things that she's saying back to her is also so you can let her know that you're listening and store it in your mind. This is extremely useful when her own word. This is extremely useful when you are using her own words against her in the argument. That is impossible to do if you're not listening. Even though listening is overall very important, in this chapter, I'm talking about listening to a specific thing. I want you to be listening to when the woman tries to repeat something you have said. I do not know why, but most women hear what they want to hear. Then again, I do know why. Because it gives their argument validation.
Yeah.
You have to immediately stop this when it happens. This is important because you do not want the conversation to continue with false information. Depending on the type of woman you are dealing with, this becomes very tedious at times, but it's very necessary so your words don't get lost in translation or turned against you. The way a woman turns your words around can be outrageous and very subtle. It is important to listen carefully so you can catch both. For example, you may ask your girlfriend, "Is everything okay, baby? You've been a little tired this week." Her response, "You act like I don't do nothing around here. I have to go to work, take care of the children, and cook. I'm not allowed to be tired." Notice, you did not say anything about her not working, cooking, taking care of the kids. She just been waiting for an opportunity to tell you all these things. What do you say in return? You politely say, "I do not dispute that you are doing all those things and do them very well. I'm only talking about you being extremely tired this week. Acknowledgement and sticking to the topic. Repeatedly doing this will get you victory in the long run.
Yeah, well, you should have put in there another responses. All right.
Because
It'll
it's
be
like
too many-
what
too many
happens is,
elements.
and this is, what happens is that you'll say something that's just talking about, like I said, like you seem tired. And then all this other stuff is being said. And like you have to bring it back. Like, I didn't say any of that. I'm not saying that you don't do that stuff. I'm actually, you do all of that stuff. I'm not talking about, I just made an observation. But the thing is that you need to repeat that so she can understand that I'm not attacking. You took it in an attacking way. I can say the same thing again, and then you could not take it that way. After I say, you do all that stuff. You do. I didn't say you didn't do any of that. I was just saying you seem very tired this week.
Yeah, and two, like, and I know, like, if they listen this far,
It's gone. No, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
They listen this far, you know how it gets. You listen to the beginning part and they just say fuck the rest. You know what I'm saying? It'd probably be, good if we just clip this up.
Yeah,
but
that's good. I like that.
Yeah, but and it's good because we outlined everything and everything. That's good. But you're gonna be charged with not helping your woman around the house. If you notice that she's tired, then maybe you should pick up some of the slack, that kind of deal. And it's just like again, that's why I'm always a proponent of us being so much done with everything that when we bring them in, it's not much of that shit that they can do. Like, I don't want a woman. The thing why I say the 80% is because it takes away all the complaining. Like, I don't really want to hear your mind. And if you do start complaining about you just tired, and you just complaining on your own.
Yeah, but I just,
and not even that. I'm saying, like, this kind of even the whole argument. Like I said, like, I go back to the leverage that you need in order for this to work. Because like let's say
for
example,
yeah, I was absolutely right.
Yeah,
because
yeah, the leverage you need in order for this stuff to work is that you gotta have your stuff kind of like 100% together. You know what I'm saying? I say 80, but I really mean 100. I really do. But I mean, you gotta have your stuff together because even putting yourself in position, whereas you're like, you should, if you're gonna go 50-50 with your girl as far as like finances, which I hate, breaking things down to just financial. But if you're going to go 50-50 with your girl, make it be a choice that she wants. Like, if she wants to do that, don't make it be a situation where she has to. You know what I'm saying? And that's like having the leverage of, look, it's all good, but you can be here or not. That's the only way that any of this stuff works.
Okay, because I make it rain. I'm actually rich. I don't know if you knew that about me, but I'll give it up.
Whatever, but like I say, it's gonna be very hard if the bitch spent all of this for you to execute any of this shit. Like, nigga, what? I already got your bags packed. Like, hold on. I just
was saying you was looking a little tired. I'm just saying,
pack your fucking bags. I've been waiting.
So here we go. Listen to her carefully. There we go. Now this is the woman. I should have said woman, not women. Right? No?
The woman big joker. Yeah, woman.
Yeah.
Edit is
Yeah, we got it. We got it. Don't worry about that.
We own it. Quarters in the motherfucker.
Yeah, we own it. So the woman.
Big joker.
Big joker.
Yeah.
All right. This is long. Bear with me here.
I'm here.
Bear with me. So, in the card game of spades, the high card in the deck is the big joker. That's if you're playing with jokers, of course. If you're not playing with jokers, twos, then the twos would be the big jokers too. But if you're not playing with any of that, then it's just the ace of spade or something. So, but I'm saying if you playing with it, the biggest card, the best card is the big joker. So that's what I'm getting at.
Mm-hmm.
This card, when used correctly, gives you control of the whole game. But just because your opponent has the big joker does not mean you cannot win the game. Women psychologically use this big joker in arguments all the time. Once you know what it is and how to sidestep it, you will never have to worry about your opponent holding the big joker again. First of all, what is the big joker inside of an argument? The big joker is something that woman says that cannot be disputed. This statement more than likely will have something to do with being a mother, childbirth, her menstruation cycle, menopause, having breasts, having a vagina, or anything else you could think of that only women can do.
I don't think this shit is gonna go nowhere.
What? I'm just saying, like that's. You don't know what this is.
At number 2, I was like, I don't think this is gonna go well. We had number 12, and I'm like, I don't think
we should do this. You gotta tell me that now. I should have kept my mask on. God damn it.
Jay.
Okay. So, where am I at? Okay, I'm gonna read that back for some stupid reason. I'm gonna read it back.
Right.
Okay. This statement more than likely will have something to do with being a mother, childbirth, her menstruation cycle, menopause, having breasts, having a vagina, or anything else you can think of that only women have or do. The statement is meant to make you powerless. Only her and other women know about these things, and the goal is for you to crumble. Women dare you to have an opinion on any of these topics. Women already know we do not and cannot experience any of these topics, so they cannot wait to try to weave them into the argument. I am not by any means saying that all those things are not very difficult, and women do need applause for them. I'm not saying that. So I just wanted to
push that button. They don't hear that part.
I am simply saying most of the time they have no place inside of an argument. Perfect example. I know you remember this. I love Serena Williams, the tennis players. In my eyes, she is one of the top 3 athletes, male or female, ever. She is strong, fierce, hardworking, and a great businesswoman. She has broken so many barriers, not only women, but not only for a woman, but for African American as a whole. But what do you say? But in 2008 at the US Open, Serena showed me that even a successful, powerful woman can use the big joker. During the tennis match, the umpire, which was a male, cited Serena for receiving coaching from her coach during the tennis match. This is highly illegal in tennis and considered cheating if you get caught receiving coaching. Serena insisted that she did not cheat. She stated, "I do not cheat. I did not receive coaching. How could you say that?" The umpire stuck by his assessment as he seen Serena coach giving out hand signals. Before pulling out the big joker, Serena's tried to make the umpire fall for the trap by stating, "You owe me an apology." That's what she said. What Serena would like to do here is go back and forth about how the umpire owes her an apology and not talk about the fact that her coach is giving her hand signals. The umpire, being the true gangster that he is, did not engage with Serena. He simply stands by his decision. This causes Serena to take it to another level. Serena screams emphatically, "I have never cheated in my life." This declaration does exactly what Serena is trying to do. It gets most of the crowd on Serena's side. And then here comes the big joker. The next thing Serena says is, "I have a daughter. I stand for what's right for her, and I've never cheated. This is the tipping point in the climax of the argument. The crowd erupts with applause, most of them not even knowing what they're cheering for. I call BS. Now, did Serena cheat? I don't know.
Well, hold on.
Okay, she did.
She did.
She did. But she did. It was determined that if the coach even said that I was coaching.
I was coaching.
So, did Serena cheat? Let's not get into that. But she did. But let's focus on the facts. Number one, it is illegal for your coach to coach you during a tennis match. Number two, Serena coach is on record by saying he was giving her hand signals, and there's also a video of him giving them. Number three, the umpire saw these signals and deducted a point. I see nothing sexist or racist in this particular situation. Since Serena is wrong and essentially losing the argument, she brings up her newly born daughter. Are we to assume women with daughters don't cheat?
Clearly they do.
Or Serena did not cheat, or Serena did cheat, but does not want anyone to or Serena did cheat, but does not anymore because she has a daughter.
Hold on. No.
Okay. Both of these questions are purely ridiculous. Women with daughters cheat, steal, kill all the time. Having a daughter does not make you all of a sudden righteous. On the contrary, there are women without children who are very righteous and will never cheat, steal, kill. The point is, it doesn't matter. Unless Serena is telling us that she's a cheater before she had a daughter, which I'm sure she's not, and the birth of her daughter changed her ways, this statement is completely irrelevant. The umpire did not stick to his guns and choose to engage with Serena. This has nothing to do with your daughter. This is about coaching and giving hand signals. Serena would have had a field day. This is all about my daughter. My daughter is the world to me. I would never do something like this to my daughter. And my favorite, how dare you speak of my daughter in that manner?
Yeah.
So, man, I didn't bring up your daughter. You brought that up. I didn't bring that up.
You brought that up.
So when I say your daughter have nothing to do with this, you mad at me. You brought your daughter up.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Man, this is what women want. This is why the big joker is played. My advice to you is to not engage in these side arguments that are unwinnable. Acknowledge what she is saying to be true and factual and move on. When you acknowledge her as being right, do not put but at the end of the statement. Acknowledge it and leave it at that. Examples. You are correct. I don't know how having a baby feels. You're correct. I've never had menstrual cramps before. You're correct. I don't have any idea what being a mother is like. After making this acknowledgement without saying but or however, get back to the topic of discussion. This is how you successfully sidestep the big joker.
Man, that big joker, man. Like, and you would think like 40-year-old women would just know better. You would think 40-year-old women, you would think 40-year-old dudes would know better. And that's why I'm an advocate of the mindset of I don't have to kill you, I don't have to save you is a very, very good mindset to have. Allows you to just walk away from that. I mean, like, because the solution is that those are the solutions. Those are good solutions if you want to stay.
you are out of there. You know, but I hear you. I hear you. But, you know, I'm under the mindset of doing, you know, and I'm not right. You're not right. I'm not wrong. You're not wrong. Everybody is of their own opinion. Mm-hmm. And so, but this what these are is opinions.
I'm giving a motive. Yeah. I'm giving an option. Yours is not.
So you know, I'm to the point to where I want to do the work. I'm to the point to whereas I know I'm good. I know I'm good financially, physically, mentally, I'm good. But I want to do the work. I want to understand what's going on. I want to get to the next. I want to complete a conversation. I want to understand. And it's a lot of crumble, a lot of chaos inside of trying to understand. And I understand what you're saying. Just don't deal with the shit. But, I'm under the impression that at times, some people are worth dealing with the shit. At times,
I have I've adopted a philosophy: if you will righteously leave, she will righteously stay. If she knows you will righteously leave, like, not curse her out. I'm never an advocate for any kind of violence. Don't curse her out. Don't call her out of her name. You ain't got to raise your voice. If you will righteously leave and do the right thing and be like, all right, like, you got it. She will righteously stay. And she will righteously do the right thing. Not just because she's trying to win an argument or do what she'll know you're not kind of, because like I said, ain't no leverage. Like, I'll just go. That's fine. You're right. I'm wrong. I ain't got to kill you. I ain't got to say
you. You watch too much Batman. Okay. Let's get to the next bullet point here. Okay. Concede when necessary. We're getting there.
Get out of there.
We're getting there. I'm glad that we cutting this up. I'm tired of the mud. Okay. Concede when necessary.
It's like arguing with you.
Man, I feel like I'm arguing with you doing this kind of. Shoot, I'm about to doggone punch my phone. So, even with all the great skills you've learned in this book so far, you are not going to win every argument. Some arguments you will find yourself behind the 8 ball. In these situations, we as men must know when to concede. One of the hardest things to do is to concede in an argument when you know you are right, but it is very necessary at times. So, why in this book about winning arguments would I tell men to voluntarily lose? That, my son, is the correct question. That's from iRobot. I like Will Smith movies with
iRobot, whatever.
Yeah, so you just catch up. One thing about most women is they remember. By not saying men do not remember, but most of the time men do not care to remember. Women do. What this means is that women are keeping count of all the times you were right and all the arguments that you've won. To women, it is only fair that they are right or win the argument sometimes. Most men are not keeping count. To men, right is right and wrong is wrong every time. What this means for us as men is that we have to build a rapport and earn trust by sometimes conceding in an argument. This makes winning an argument at a later date and time even easier. Yes, losing makes winning easier in this situation. What type of arguments should you lose? The arguments you are wrong in. This is arguments. What? Yeah. The arguments that you are wrong in. You will be surprised at how far a little humble pie goes with women. She will never partake in eating any of this humble pie herself, but that is why we are the man. Do not be afraid to step up and be the first one to say, I was wrong. The objective here is to do what Craig Father says in the classic movie Friday, is live to fight another day. Furthermore, do not be afraid to revisit a situation from the past just to admit you were wrong. This works wonders for the woman's ego. Yes, women do have egos. Example, remember last week when you said to take the street instead of the freeway and I insisted on taking the freeway? You were right. I was in traffic all day. By no means am I telling you to fabricate here. There are tons of things that we as men have been wrong about and that we could revisit to boost the women's ego? Pull from that list. What is it? Oh, see what that's saying.
Hey, now you a man.
All I'm saying is that, concede. We're wrong. We're wrong. And if you're expecting your mate to admit when they are wrong, you have to do the same thing.
Yeah,
and it's treat people like you want to get treated, and it's just not to say that would happen, but I'm just saying that gives you points in the bank for you to say, if you're wrong, say that you're wrong. As a man, that gives you a little bit of points, a little bit of leverage. Go ahead, Michael Perkins.
Yeah, okay. So like, I'm always reminded that, like, again, I don't argue stuff that I don't know nothing about. I generally just shut the hell up when I don't know what I'm talking about, because not that I like being right. I just don't like being wrong when I'm trying to be right. That just doesn't, to me, that's just, it's unnecessary. I'm too old for that. But just for me, it's this thing where, like, because I get charged with, you always have to be right. And it's like,
a lot of people say that about you.
Yeah, but it's like, you don't understand what I'm doing. You're missing the part where I don't talk a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I talk here. I may talk in a few other places. I don't really
When you at work, man, you just chatter. You chatty patty. You see you down there just going off. Man, who was he talking to? Go ahead.
But I don't do a lot of talking, because a lot of times I don't have anything to add or be right in. You know what I mean? So if I don't have anything to add or to be right or to add a point that may make you, then I don't say anything. And for the most part, like, men are really that for the most part. Now you're going to have exceptions, but we don't want, like, there are dudes who we look at those dudes as that's feminine when you want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
When you want to be right, like,
yeah, that's that's BAN
all day. But it's like, we know that that's not really what we're about. A dude would never ever start an argument. Like, we're not cut that way. We don't start arguments like that. Like, we want peace. That. So even like this is another. I don't know if it's in the next things. Right, no. We want peace. So the idea that this even have to exist for y'all should really let you know how full of it y'all are. Like this, like he had to write a book.
Hey man, first of all, man, give it up for me. Man, everybody,
yeah, like
you that. Back there, you better sit down. So let's move.
WandaVision.
Okay, let's see.
I'm strong and independent. I need you to help me be strong and independent.
I got this as something different, so I'm going to change it, and hopefully I did the right thing.
I'm saying WandaVision. Like, how, like, when your kids want to play like a superhero, and they're like let's play superhero, Daddy. Mm-hmm. Like, my kids would, they were Spider-Man and Wolverine.
I'm not doing this with you.
No. Kids are Spider-Man, Wolverine. And they just wanted to be, in order to play though, you have to like play along with them, and they know they're not the superhero. They know it. They're like,
they can't fly. They know web is not shooting out of their wrist.
But in order for it to work, you have to play along, and everybody around has to play along. So like, you'll get a kid at their birthday party and they'll be Spider-Man, and everybody has to understand that they're Spider. Like, no other kid can come in a Spider-Man uniform, by the way. You know what I'm saying? It can be 20 Wolverines, but it better not be one motherfucking Spider-Man, because I'm Spider-Man, and in my world, I'm Spider-Man. I be feeling like, you ever heard your woman describe your relationship, and not, just in any relationship, in the past 20 years of your life, and you're listening to her talk about your relationship, and you like, she got to be talking about another nigga, but she bet not be talking about another nigga, because
I'm the one in a relationship with her.
But none of that is real. That's how I be feeling like they exist in it. That's why I said WandaVision.
Yeah, I know what WandaVision is.
Everybody knows what WandaVision is, because it's like they want you to create a world for them that they're all of these things. Like, I have to do so much, like, because then you be with her and then you like, she don't be doing shit. Like, you know, she just be sitting on her ass. But like, they want you to exist in this world, whereas they do all of these wonderful things and then help them to look like the thing that they say they are. And they want their name to be first. WandaVision.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the next thing.
That's gonna be a clip. I'm cool. We clipping that one.
Move on to the next thing. Okay. How to know when you have won. Just something, just a little something for you. A little something for you. So out of 10 million arguments that I have been in with women, not one has ended with her simply saying, you know what? You right.
10 times platinum.
This is a very, very, very rare occasion. This would be the equivalent to seeing Bigfoot on a unicorn chasing a leprechaun down a yellow brick road. It is possible. I just have never seen it happen. Since women are not straight to the point when they have since women are not straight to the point when they have lost an argument, men will have to settle for these key signs. First sign that will let you know that you have won the argument is a basic one. Women will simply say in many variations, I don't want to talk about this anymore. So sometimes women say this because she is tired of going in circles, but it's very rare. Most of the time, women do not want to talk about it anymore because they see where the conversation is going and they can smell their defeat. Another sign to look for to let you know that you have won the argument is women will just completely start doing something else right in the middle of you talking. This could be playing on her phone, washing the dishes, or anything else that signifies she's done. We as men could never get away with acting like this. So do not even try it. As us as men would be ridiculed for weeks for this action. In this instance, simply ask her, is she finished talking?
You finished or you done?
You finished or you done? She will continue to state, oh, I thought we were finished. Take this as a victory and end the conversation. One of the last ways you will know that you have won the argument is that the woman will agree with an attitude. This means to throw you off. This is meant to throw you off guard. The attitude is for you to ask what is wrong, just so she can say nothing 10,000 times. Mm-hmm. Do not fall for the bait. When she says with an attitude, fine then. We'll just do it your way. Take it. Beware. If your way does not work, she is waiting with a huge I told you so. When she comes with the I told you so, take the opportunity to let her know she was right and move on. It is important for us as men to win arguments gracefully. As the late, great coach Vince Lombardi once said about touchdown celebrations, act like you've been there before. What this means is do not continue to go on and on or gloat in victory. There is no rubbing it in women's face. Be right, be humble, and move on. I have seen many men lose the whole argument at the end trying to high step into the end zone. Do not make this mistake, man. If you as a man belabor your point, women will make an argument about you talking to them like a child or like a father. You do not want these problems. Again, win and move on.
Yeah. Another thing in there. You're just exhausting.
Yeah. So we have to take our victories because, as I said at the beginning of this chapter, that I've been in 10 million arguments with the women, and not one has ended in simply saying, you know what, you're right. I have never heard that in an argument. Isn't that strange?
That's strange. I've never heard.
I compare it to what do
you have 20 million.
I compare it to this is a very rare case. This would be equivalent to seeing Bigfoot on a unicorn chasing a leprechaun down a yellow brick road. You see how I put
it could happen.
It can happen. I just ain't seen it. It can happen. I just haven't seen it. So take your like know when you won. Silence is a victory. Silence is a victory. If there's just silence, just take it. Because where we mess up is saying, well, did you hear what I said? Or are you hello? Just don't do that.
You up 10 points.
Just be silent. If she wants to be silent at the end, let it be silence and say, hey, what are we eating tonight?
Run the clock out, dog.
Just hold the ball and let the clock and let it just
run the clock.
Hold the ball. Don't all right. You go. I seen a clip where a guy stole the ball from the offense and wanted to dunk at the end of the game because he wanted to be an asshole.
Right.
Don't be that guy, whoever he is. Don't be him.
Don't be him.
So, I have several other chapters, but this was all written 6 years ago, and it's still not completed. It's still not completed. This was just an outline that I would, each chapter would be broadened and elaborated on and built up. I just was looking for a publisher. And when that publisher told me that this was not a good idea because she can win an argument when she's not even right, I'll be honest, it derailed me 6 years ago.
I think, but when I heard it, I was more encouraged. I didn't know you were discouraged.
Yeah, but I'm really that part of me is different. I keep that part of me to myself. I know you wouldn't know that I was discouraged in anything, really, unless I told you. And sometimes I do tell you, but I just keep that to myself, and I shouldn't, because how are you going to encourage me if you don't even know I'm discouraged?
Yeah,
that's bull. So I be dropping Jews every now and then.
But me hearing her say that is it shows the need for the book.
Yeah,
because that's immediately I was like, well, that's why the book is needed. Because even when she said it, even when you just said it, I was like, that's what I thought. I was like, oh man, that's the need for the book. Because you got women walking around being wrong as hell, talking about somebody can still win an argument,
which is ridiculous. And to be clear, we go back to the introduction. That is why you don't argue with women like that. No good. What is it? Good nature, good fortune. What is it?
Just nothing good is going to come of it.
No, you said that argue in good faith.
Argue in good faith.
In good faith. So if they're not doing it in good faith, if people don't want to be mature, if people don't want to be adults, if people don't actually want to get somewhere, then you're wasting your time. Get out of there, by all means.
Run.
So because all this stuff is communication. It's communication. Now I'm having fun with a lot of this stuff because I like to have fun, but you have to listen. It's communication. It's communication. I don't always like to let everybody knows what's going on because it's intimidating, and it's intimidating some people when they know that you know. It's intimidating when you could look at a person and know when they're not telling the truth. You don't have to, you don't have to know what's true. You don't have to be inside of their mind. You don't have to. That's intimidating. So I try to will it back because I don't want to intimidate anybody. But I am who I am. I can see what I can see. So being that I am what I am, being that I can see what I can see, it's not my fault that I read 70 plus books. It's not my fault that, I was trained because of jobs in the past to do certain things. I can't. Am I wrong for that?
Well, you're not wrong. It is your fault.
Okay.
It's not wrong.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's my fault.
You did read the fuck.
I did read the books. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But it's and I just get to a point again, whereas like I know people gonna hear this, and be like, you know, what men do it too.com, like, you know, whatever. But
which they
like,
do.
Yeah, but it's you know, the difference between the men do it too argument is that it's not acceptable for men to do it. You know what I'm saying? This is par for the course when women do it. You know what I'm saying? Anytime a woman is doing any of these things, playing the big joker, deflecting in an argument, doing all those things are so normal. Even the men do it too is a deflection. Like it totally sidesteps the years and years and years of men being held accountable for their actions and then women not being necessarily held for their actions in the context of, like, for example, a discussion or argument or, you know what I mean, conversation. And it's just, you can't keep with the, well, men do it too. Men do it too is a way to keep the conversation being circular. It's a freaking reversal move. Like if somebody try to put you in a leg lock and then you flip them over and
reverse. It's the reverse. You know the reverse in
reverse.
Uno. It's in play reverse. It's back to you. Like, you just went reverse. I know you don't. I know you don't have. I know you don't got no money. You ain't got no more blues. I know you ain't got no more blues. You just picked up. You just drew. Pick up again. Reverse. Oh, you had a reverse. Okay, reverse it back to me. So, anything else you want to say before we shut this down? Because we're gonna get out of here, man. Anything else you got?
Just you know, in addition to that, of course, in the beginning of that, you want to always make sure that you gotta have your stuff together, man. The only leverage that you have really in any relationship or anything as a dude is your power of choice. That's the only power you really have, and you can't exercise that power of choice if you ain't got yourself together. So that's the only, and they can't take that away from you. Power of choice is the power you have. You know what I mean? There are no checks on her behavior. There are no checks on bad behavior. You know what I mean? You can't react to it. Don't worry about it. You can't react to it. The only thing that you have is power of choice. And time is on your side. Your life is a marathon. So just make sure that you understand those two things. And, you know, this stuff that we gave you a kind of, you know, it's easier to execute from a place of, you know what I'm saying, from a place of leverage. And then just also with that, you know, don't treat her poorly. Don't disrespect her. If you're gonna detach with love. You know.
I like it. Round of applause for Michael again. We're gonna get out of here. Hate mail. Send it to that guy.
I don't have to say.